Okay, we're going to be drawing inferences. That's our last lesson for Androcles and the lion. And so we're going to go ahead. I'm going to put this into present so we can go through the lesson together. So what does it mean to draw inferences? And an inference is, well, what an idea or conclusion that's drawn from evidence and reasoning. And an inference is an educated guess. So basically, like, it doesn't necessarily say it directly in the story, but you sort of have to make a guess about what the characters are thinking and feeling. Okay, so in our story, we have Androcles and the lion, and today I'm going to read the longest version of the story. This is the core text. Androcles, who escaped from slavery, comes face to face with a man-eating lion 2 times in the story. How will he survive this life-threatening situation? Back in the days of the Roman Empire, Androcles escaped from his master and then fled into the deep, dark forest. While wandering about in the dense woods, he came upon a lion lying down and loudly moaning and groaning. At first, Androcles turned to flee, but finding that the lion did not pursue him, he turned back and went up to the beast. As he came near the lion, put his paw, which was swollen and bleeding. Androcles found that a huge thorn had gotten into the paw, and that was causing the lion's pain. Androcles pulled out the thorn and then bound up the lion's paw. The grateful cat rose, and not unlike a house pet, licked the hand of Androcles. Then the lion took Androcles to his cave. Every day he brought Androcles meat, which filled the man's stomach. But shortly afterward, both Androcles and the lion were captured and sent to the city to be part of the public spectacle. Androcles was sentenced to be thrown to the lion in front of the emperor and all his court. Meanwhile, the poor lion had been kept without food for several days, so he was ravenous. And ravenous means hungry. Everyone thought he would devour Androcles in an instant. When the time came, Androcles was led into the middle of the arena. Soon the lion was let loose from his den and rushed bounding and roaring toward his victim. But as soon as the lion came near Androcles, he recognized his friend. The lion fawned upon him and licked his hands lovingly. The emperor, surprised at this, summoned Androcles to him. Androcles then told him how he had helped the lion by removing the thorn. The emperor pardoned and freed the brave man and let the lion return to the forest. Okay, so here is our inferences. The inference side is already filled in. So what you need to do is find evidence from the story that supports that inference. So the inference that was drawn here was that the lion was in a lot of pain and needed help. How do we know the lion was in pain and needed a lot of help? What part of the story tells us? And if we went back to the story, ding, 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 it's going to be somewhere in paragraph 1, right? How do we know the lion was in pain? What sounds was he making? I'm giving you a clue there, right? The lion cared a lot about Androcles and took care of him. And how do we know? What's evidence that the lion cared a lot about Androcles and took care of him? How do we know? What did the lion do specifically? Again, you're looking for evidence from the story. Put a direct quote from the story here. And then the last one, the emperor saw that Androcles was a good man and thought he should not be in prison. How do we know? How did the emperor know that Androcles was a good man? Again, that's going to be, how did he know this in this last paragraph? How does the emperor know that Androcles was a good man? Okay. So again, you're going back and finding evidence from the text. Again, you can use this text. If you want to go back and use this text, you can, or you can use this text. Just find a direct quote from the story, use whatever text, whichever the levels of text you want to use. And you're filling in that inference chart. And again, if you need help, come to our reading lesson at 10:30. Okay. And now I'm going to exit this, and I will hopefully see you tomorrow.